Welcome to the Waste-Free Celebrations tutorial on sewing your own set of 10 reusable gift bags. My name is Emma and I'm the Director of Waste-Free Celebrations. We're a New Zealand company, but we manufacture in Kabul, Afghanistan, where we employ around 60 women who come from highly vulnerable backgrounds and have no other source of income for providing for themselves or their children. So your support by buying this product goes directly to helping these women, and we want to thank you in advance for your support. Now, in your kit set, what you would have received is your instructions, pre-cut fabric for 10 bags, some correct thread, a safety pin, which is for threading the ribbon through the casing if you're not confident in stitching the ribbon directly into the casing. You're going to get 10 homemade with love little tags to stitch in them, as well as pre-cut ribbon. Now, our ribbon is all hand cut by women in Kabul. It's not machine cut, so we employ a lot of women to do ribbon cutting, ironing, packaging if they can't sew, to provide as much employment as possible. The point being is that if the ribbon is a centimetre or two out, don't freak out, it's just, it's all been hand done, but you will be able to work out the size of the fabric and the size of the ribbon, and you're going to get it all together, just like in cooking, mise en place, to match up the ribbon with the correct bag, which we're going to do now. Now you will also need to supply a pair of snips or scissors if you have some, a sewer's gauge. If you only have a ruler, that's fine, but a sewer's gauge is the best piece of equipment, and some tailor's chalk. If you don't have chalk, honestly, a pencil or even a ballpoint pen is going to be fine, because it's only going to be a tiny little marking that will be inside the seam. All right, we're going to get everything in place. So now I've separated out my fabric and my ribbon, so all the correct size of ribbon goes with the correct bag. Now, one thing to note about the fabrics, there's lots of different fabrics that you could have bought from us. Some of them have very, very obvious patterns that run the correct way. So I want you to always ensure the way that we have styled the bag from a stitching point of view, with a fold on the left-hand side of the bag. This means that, see, the houses go the correct way on the front, and they also go the correct way on the back. So this is going to be the top of the bag. Now, some of the fabrics are multi-directional or geometric, and it doesn't make a difference if you do it this way or this way. But if you have a directional fabric, maybe put a pin in the top, or use your tailor's chalk just to note which is the top of the bag so that you don't get the pattern running the wrong way. You can see the birds are all running this way, so we don't want it up that way. Otherwise, when you turn it into your bottle bag, see, all your birds are upside down. So we're going to make sure that we keep this at the top of the bag, and then we're going to start by serging or zigzagging the edges of all the bags. So here I have the bag folded correctly with a fold on the left, and this will be the seam on the right. I am going to take my tailor's chalk, and I'm just going to put a little T on the wrong side so that I keep the top, so that I don't rotate it the wrong way. There we go. So all 4 edges are serged, overlocked or zigzagged. Now we're going to move on to our sewing machine. Okay, so we're going to snip any loose threads off the corner from the serging. There we go. Now there's my T that I wrote in for the top. So once this is down, on the side, this is the top of the fabric, we're going to create the casing of the fold at the top of the neck of the bag. So you've got your sides. Now on the first side, use a ruler. I've got a ruler on my table, but you're going to make a mark at the 20 centimetre and the 25 centimetre mark. At the 20 centimetre mark here, you're going to fold in your edge. It's ever so slightly on a triangle, it's not straight. You're going to start at the top, and as you stitch, you're going to stitch right to the very, very edge of the fabric. See how I'm going right to the edge. Okay, and then on the other side, we're going to do the same. I start at the very edge and I stitch in. So now if you put the top of the bag up here, you will see here that the neck of the bag has the two sides turned in. Now because you've done this at 20 centimetres, when you fold it over, you should have a straight 10 centimetres all the way along. This is the neck of the bag. I've got my gauge at 10 centimetres and there we go. I'm just going to adjust it right in there. Now the neck of the bag is 10 centimetres. However, the top frill is 4 centimetres. So what we're going to do, using your ruler or your gauge, this means that the first line of stitching is going to be 4 centimetres from the top. Okay, so it's going to be right here. So there's the 10, there's the 0, so I'm going to put a line of stitching in at the 6. So I just hold my gauge. As it goes down, I know that the neck of the bag is still 10. I hold my finger on the right, on the 6, and I aim for the needle. There we go. So here you have the top of the bag. This is going to be the frill, and now we're going to create the casing for the bag. Now you take your ribbon. If you are, you don't need to be an advanced sewer at all. If you're competent with a sewing machine, you lift up the flap, you place your ribbon underneath, and you're going to stitch it in. Now you can feel with your finger where the ribbon is and you can see the needle. So the aim is obviously to not aim for the ribbon, but you can feel with your finger and your needle is just going to be running down the left side of where you can feel the ribbon underneath. This probably isn't the best way for a beginner, which I will show you how to do next, but it is just sewing in a straight line, just using your finger to feel. And once you've done that, you just give it a tug, there you go, to make sure you haven't caught it, because if you have stitched it in, you have to unpick it, and that is a complete pain in the neck. If you're not confident in stitching the ribbon in, you're going to do it this way. I have one here. So once you've got the flap, you are just going to stitch your casing in. So here's your overlocked edge, and you're just going to create a casing for the bag like this. Then using your safety pin, you put it onto your ribbon and you're going to thread it through. This is the best way if you're teaching a kid to sew or you're not overly confident yourself. There we go. So whether you stitch it in or you use a safety pin, you want that ribbon to try and be flat. There you go. So we're back into the exact same place you were if you'd stitched the ribbon in. Okay, so now you're going to take your cute little homemade with love, and you're going to turn the bag right side facing up, and you're going to look for that 25 centimetre mark that you marked before. There it is. Now, with the homemade with love side down and the side of the tag facing you that says I'm a reusable gift bag, do not throw me out, that's going to be facing you. You're just going to tack it into the side like this. There you go, so there's your tag. Now all you have to do is fold the bag in half. Now you've got your casing seams. Where that bottom seam here lines up, this is where you're going to drop your needle for the seam downwards. So, now you do need to backstitch here because this is where the most pressure is placed on a bag when kids are opening their bags and excited on Christmas morning and ripping the bags open. So make sure you back tack here quite solidly. Leave your needle in, turn. There we go. Your bag is done, so now you're going to turn it in the correct way. Now to pull the corners out, to give nice sharp corners, just use a pair of snips and just pull them out so that they're nice and sharp. And there you have your finished bag. So this is your finished small bag. And once you've finished your entire set of 10, this is how gorgeous the whole set is going to look. And we've got lots of coordinating fabrics in this series, so you can have the acorns and the tartan and the birds all coordinating under your tree and looking absolutely gorgeous, whether it's a bag or a furoshiki wrap. We also have other products, so please check them out at wastefreecelebrations.com. Have a wonderful Christmas, or Eid or Hanukkah or Diwali or whatever you're sewing your bags for. Doesn't matter what you celebrate, just don't make a mess. And we look forward to lots of happy sewing with you in the future. Thank you.